How are you doing, Ash? How are you? How do you feel about that? Disappointing end to pre-season? Is that concern you going into next week that you've ended it on a...
No, listen, we always want to win and we always want to perform well. We understand that wasn't our best performance, probably our worst performance in pre-season. Circumstantial, it's a week before the Premier League starts and we've come through it injury-free. That's the most important thing. Minutes into the boys' legs, and I feel like we're in a good place to go into the Premier League now. It's been a long pre-season, many games. There's going to be games where you're disappointed. If we're going to have a disappointment like that, we want it now rather than next week. So we're ready to go next week. No, I think it was, like you say, it was a week before pre-season. Them games can become a little bit passive and a little bit. It felt like a pre-season friendly, if I'm being honest. It was at slow tempo, and credit to AC Milan, they played at a higher tempo than us, and they were a little bit more aggressive than us, and they probably deserved the win in the end. And no, we want to win football matches, of course we do, but the most important thing is next week.
Is it a case of avoiding injury and that playing the subconscious part in your mind in that second half, and will you be able to switch that for the whole game?
Yeah, of course you can switch it next week. We'll be ready to go. That's the Premier League. 12:30 on a Saturday away at Hull. It's going to be an intense game and one that we're ready to go. But I don't want to make up excuses and find excuses. But of course it's the last game before, and there's probably boys who are out there wanting to make sure that they get through the game and get the minutes into the legs without pushing too intensely to be ready next week. But it wasn't a good performance from us. We know that. We've got to do better. We've got to improve. But we've got a full week to analyse, and we will do.
How good was it to have Marcus back? You obviously have been in teams internationally and for Man United, know what he can do. He's been away for a while. There's a lot of questions. But what can he do for this team?
Well, he can improve us for sure. I think when you come on, he threatens the back line really well. He could have maybe scored for us today. He's a huge threat. He's a huge threat to have in your team. So if he's going to stay with us, we obviously the transfer window is still open, but we hope as players that he stays. And he's a big asset to have. And I've played with Marcus for numerous years, and I know that playing against him, playing with him in training, is going to help us.
And how are you feeling after the full 90 minutes?
Well, it was hot out there, I must say. I think it was 34, 35 degrees. So it was a hard game. But it wasn't the most intense game, I must say. It was played a bit flat, and for ourselves, we were far too passive, I must say, as a team. But like I said, next week's the one that matters, and we need to make sure that we improve and for sure play a lot higher tempo next week.
Just looking at pre-season overall, obviously the first pre-season under the gaffer, what have you learned differently maybe from last season and what he was trying to get you to do there, and how are you feeling approaching this Premier League campaign?
Yeah, I think it's been a really pleasing pre-season, no doubt about it. I think we've had lots of good performances. Individually, I feel in a good place to go in the Premier League next week. And I think we're wanting to play much further up the pitch. We want to play more aggressive, more on the front foot. Like I said, today was the only game probably where I didn't feel like we did ourselves justice in that aspect. We had a lot of high regains and a lot of chances created from that, but we didn't sustain our pressure nowhere near good enough. But that's again, it's something that it's not going to be perfect. It's something that we're going to need to work on. And like I said, it's next week's the one that's counting, and I'm sure we're going to be ready.
And Andre Santos and Yuri Tielemans, about a few weeks with them now. What have they brought to the difference to the midfield and kind of things like that? And you playing behind them, you enjoying that?
Yeah, definitely. I think they've been brilliant in pre-season. Obviously, Yuri's probably getting up to speed a little bit more than Andre. He's only been in a couple of weeks now. For him to play, I think he played 90 today. I think he played 90. So
Yes, Yuri did.
It's credit to him to come back in that shape to play 90 in that heat. But I think they're going to have big impacts. I think they're both at different ages. I think Andre's obviously got loads to learn. He's got loads to improve, and he's going to do that. Yuri's now is at an age where he should come straight into the team. We don't need to adapt. He should help us out straight away, and I'm sure he's expecting that from himself as well. So two great signings, and we're happy to have them here.
Last question with Catherine.
Asked about Ruben, obviously being back today. How was that seeing him, and do you think there are performance against him?
Yeah, it's great to see him. Great to see him and all his staff. I'm happy that they're in another job and another chance to to impress and to show everyone out what a great manager he is. So I have nothing bad to say about Ruben. I got on with Ruben really, really well, and all his staff, and I'm sure he's going to be a success. It just didn't work out at Manchester United, but when you're a manager and you put yourself in that firing seat, there's going to be disappointments, and he'll be disappointed he didn't, but he's got a massive club now in AC Milan, and myself, I wish him and all his staff the very best. I'll be following them, and I hope they have an amazing season.
Brilliant. Thanks,
Cheers,
everyone.
H.
Cheers, bye-bye.